If you're trying to remove late payments and you're not looking at how they're reported line by line, you're wasting your time and missing easy deletions. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to challenge late payments using consumer law and factual strategies that actually work, even if the account is valid. So let's start with why late payments matter. Late payments are one of the most common and damaging types of negative items on a credit report. Just one late payment could drop a score by 50 to 100 points, especially on newer or lighter files. But here's the good news. Late payments are one of the easiest items to challenge and remove because they're often reported with small but crucial errors. The key is to stop thinking emotionally and start thinking strategically. So think to yourself, can they actually prove that I was late? And are they actually reporting accurately under the law? When it comes to late payments, the Fair Credit Reporting Act is the primary law that protects consumers and gives you leverage to challenge anything that's inaccurate, incomplete, or unverifiable. Relevant sections to focus on is Section 611 of the Fair Reporting Credit Act. It grants you the right to dispute any item on a credit report, and bureaus must investigate and respond within 30 days. FC Section 607B mandates maximum possible accuracy in all reports and all reported data. Even a small inconsistency or incomplete reporting is grounds for deletion. And Section 623 of the Fair Reporting Credit Act applies to creditors or furnishers who report data to the credit bureaus. They're legally required to update or delete inaccurate information on your credit report. So your goal isn't to beg them for forgiveness. Your goal is to examine the errors on your credit report and force deletion or correction using consumer law. If you're finding this video helpful so far, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You won't find videos like this anywhere talking about credit and funding, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. So let's talk about the most common reporting errors for late payments. So late payments can contain technical violations that most credit repair companies or people miss, and these are key areas to audit. First is missing or incomplete dates. Every late payment must be tied to a specific due date and a delinquency date. If the payment history just says 30 days with no actual date attached, that's a dispute point. Second is an accurate payment history grid. Credit reports often show month-by-month grids. If the grid shows late that conflict with the account summary, you got an actual factual error that you could dispute. For example, the summary says current, but the history will show 30, 60, or 90 days late. Third is inconsistent status codes. If the account shows pay as agreed, but also shows late payments, that's contradictory. Status codes must match payment history. It can't have a mix and match. Fourth is wrong delinquency sequence. Creditors cannot report a 60-day late before a 30-day late. If the sequence is wrong or jumps in weird intervals, it's not accurate. Fifth is re-aging of delinquencies. Sometimes furnishers move the date of a delinquency around forward to keep it longer on the report. This violates the FC 7-year rule, and it's one of the easiest ways to win a dispute work. Once you identify the factual errors, next build a dispute that highlights those errors in legal specific language. Then compare all three credit bureaus side by side. Highlight where dates, lates, or statuses don't match. Step 2, draft a factual dispute letter. Your language needs to be specific and assertive, not vague or emotional. For example, let's say an account shows a 90-day late in April of 2025, but the prior months do not reflect a 30 or 60-day late. This would be a violation of Metro 2 reporting standards and is factually incorrect. You could also say the status of this account is marked as paid as agreed while still showing multiple late payments. This is contradictory and must be removed under the FC Reporting Act and must be corrected or removed under FC Section 607B. Another option is the payment history grid does not match the reported status. This renders the information inaccurate under Section 623. Step 3, send to each credit bureau reporting the error. Dispute directly with each bureau reporting the late payment, including your letter a highlighted report with the errors and any backup data that you might have to support your case. Step 4, monitor and follow back up. So remember how I said they have 30 days? So you want to track and monitor the 30-day time frame. If the account is updated with correct information, review it again. And if the error persists, escalate it with stronger legal citations. If no changes have been made and the errors still remain, now you have documentation to pursue a complaint or further legal action. If factory dispute doesn't result in a correction or deletion, don't stop. Most credit bureaus and furnishers assume that most consumers won't follow through. Prove them wrong. You can also file a formal complaint. Use a CFPB or your state's attorney general office to file a complaint. Be clear about what's being disputed, when it happened, and what specific areas on your report that were ignored. Another option is to read the dispute with a more aggressive language. Include a reference to your previous dispute and note the Bureau's violations and failure to investigate under the FC Section 611. Reiterate the factual violation and your right to have inaccurate data corrected or removed. Or you can also escalate to legal action if necessary. If the bearer or furnisher continues to report false information knowingly, you may have grounded to pursue legal action under the FC Section 616 and 617. Now here's a bonus tip. Not every late payment needs to be disputed. In some cases, you can request a deletion or correction directly from the creditor using a goodwill adjustment letter. This works best when the account is currently in good standing. Like let's say you just missed one late payment. This would be perfect for you. But just know this is not a legal strategy. This is a relationship strategy. Only use it if you're not ready to do disputes yet. So let's recap. Late payments can be removed when they're inaccurately reported. You want to use consumer laws. Don't use guesswork to challenge these errors. Focus on specifics like dates, statuses, history sequences, and contradictory reporting. And don't stop at one dispute. Escalate when necessary using the full strength of the FC. So now you know exactly how late payments work and what they do to your credit. But here's the bigger picture. If you got student loans on your credit report, that's even bigger weight holding you back. The good news is there are proven ways to actually remove them. So I break it down all in my next video. So make sure to click here. I'm out though. Peace.